almost there. No way. What is this? You're tuned in to the Eyes Open podcast, where secrets aren't safe and we see it all.
Well, welcome back, my fellow truthers. It feels like it's been a very long time, and I've had quite a few people reach out. Again, I want to say thank you to all the people that reached out and cared enough to see how I was doing during the little ordeal I had. Now, for the people that were close to me, I explained what had happened. You know, it's not some long drawn out story, and being the fact that I just did an episode about near-death experiences, I can add this, to the whole mix of that. This was actually one of the closer calls too, I'll be honest with you, but it's not something I'm going to continue to go into. I already did an episode about this. I have other stuff I want to talk about today, but there's too many people hitting me up about it, so I'm just going to go ahead and talk on it real quick, give you guys a rundown of what had happened, so that way I don't continue to get a million messages. So for the people that do care, that watch the show, they'll know what happened and what's going on. And actually, I shouldn't be back today, according to what medical professionals and everybody's telling me, but the show must go on, am I right? And for some of the people that wish death upon me, I love you guys too. You're not going to get rid of me yet. I'm just that pain in the ass that I don't think is going to go away anytime soon. So you're just going to have to deal with me. So pretty much what had happened, long story short, it was probably Bill Gates sending his murder hornets after me or whatever. But I'm the type of person, I've never been allergic to bees, wasps, none of that stuff, okay? I've lived out in the country my whole life. I've worked outside. When I did work a blue-collar job, I worked outside most of my life, and I've been stung by everything, from spiders to, you name it. But this time, for some reason, and like I said, I would not be surprised if it was some genetically modified thing that Bill Gates, sent out. Because what was that, the story they did about Bill Gates putting mosquitoes in Texas that were genetically modified? They weren't real or something. But I would not be surprised if this was some type of genetically modified hornet they sent after me. But it was a big son of a bitch, man. It was big. And I remember because I had my phone like to my neck, and somehow this sucker got lodged in between my phone, and I'm like, oh shoot. So I felt it for a minute, and it was a good little sting, but I'm like, and then it took off. So I'm talking on my phone, and I didn't think anything of it until I went inside for a minute, and all of a sudden I started, I could really feel it hit me. I started looking, my whole body turned red. I was sweating profusely, horribly, like raining. And two things are good things, or I wouldn't be here. One, my daughter was home and I wasn't by myself, because I guess when you go into anaphylactic shock, what I didn't know was I was like, why is my vision going blind? I feel like I'm going blind. I can't see. So I guess when you go into anaphylactic shock, your blood pressure drops so quickly that you could, lose oxygen to your brain. And all I wanted to do was go to sleep. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go lay down. I'll be just fine. And my daughter was freaking out. Now, here's the other thing. If she wouldn't have been there, there's one major factor. And two, I live remote enough to where it takes a while for an ambulance to get out here. So I keep certain things on hand in case of an emergency. So one of the things I keep on hand in my emergency kit is an EpiPen. So I just go to lay down, and I'm like, and my daughter's freaking out. She's like, no, you're not going to be good. You're not going to be good. So she, looks at the EpiPen, reads the thing, pops the thing off, and hits me in my thigh with it. As soon as she hit me with it, within not even a minute, everything went away. I could start to see again. My whole body turned from red to normal. Everything just went normal. And then I sat out in my driveway and waited for the ambulance to show up, which took them a while. So I was like, yeah, I definitely would have been dead, because I went into bad anaphylactic shock. And I don't think I've ever been in an allergic reaction before like that. Yeah, I think I got, there was some type of plant one time. I got my face kind of swelled up and stuff. But it had to do with a plant, but it wasn't nothing like that. I've never been in, actual anaphylactic shock that I can remember. Maybe when I was a kid, but not that I remember. But this was, it was pretty crazy. Like I'd said, if she wouldn't have been here and I wouldn't have had an EpiPen, I would not be talking to you guys right now. So, and for the morons, like I said, that comment on there, they're like, oh my gosh, we lost him, he's gone. No, I promise you, okay? If something happens to me, the show will just vanish, okay? The people I care about don't give two shits about this show. They'll just let it die off. They don't care, okay? So they're not going to post for me. There won't be no post on here. We even had a discussion about that. Like, they even know in a sense that I'm putting myself, because see, it gets to a point where when something happened to me, people didn't even think it was, a normal regular thing. Like, they thought somebody like took a shot at me, or it was like a hit or something, because that's how crazy it's getting in this world with people that speak the truth. But no, this was, like I said, as far as I know, a natural occurrence, but it felt very unnatural. And the weird thing about it is I still feel off from it. I mean, maybe this is like some special, like I said, GMO hornets or some shit that they got out there. But I'll tell you another thing too is something's changed in me since then. I don't know if it's the experience I went through, or there's something in that damn hornet's venom, but there's something that's came out of me now to where I'm going to explain something very thoroughly to people, okay? Because I don't think I made myself clear, for the people that are new or for the people that have been around the show for a while. I say what I say on this show, okay? And there's been some back and forth sometimes with people, but guess what? There's a new Elias has been birthed now, okay? I'm going to speak the truth. I'm going to continue to spread the gospel. I definitely want to do that more, because I know I'm not going to say it was just, like I said, it's a convergence of circumstances that saved my life. But truthfully, God Almighty, Jesus Christ saved my life, because he made sure that the things were in place to save my life, or else, again, I wouldn't be here. So I definitely want to dedicate a lot more of my time in my life to preaching his word to the people out there that don't know it. Because I'm telling you, this just adds, okay, to the one of many. Like, it's insane. I almost died, like, in the last year, like 3 times, just in the last year. Okay, that's pretty crazy. That's not counting. You go way back, like I told you, I can't even number how many times. So it's beyond coincidence at this point. At this point, it's got to be divine intervention. It's got to be I'm here for a purpose. It's got to be something like that. There's no other answer to it, in my opinion. But I wanted to get that out there for the people. Like I said, thank you to all the people that sent prayers to me. Thank you to all the people that had reached out. But to me, it's not nearly as bad as it was, as some people would think it is. It's not nearly as bad as a lot of the stuff I've been through. But nonetheless, like I'd said, it's like something awoken in me. It made me it really put stuff into perspective for me. And that's what this is, okay? If you come on my page with bullshit, okay, because I'm getting really sick and tired of it. I really am, okay? There is so many idiots out there that just talk the most horrendously dumb shit I've ever heard in my life. If you come on my page, okay, you're going to be blocked and deleted immediately. I do not give 2 shits no more. I really don't. And I got to love these people that say, oh my gosh, that was offensive. Unfollow, sir. Like, do you really think you're hurting my feelings? Do you really think I care? Okay? That's the whole point of what we're going to talk about today is, okay? The whole world, everybody, all right? We're all being scammed on a level that you guys couldn't even fathom, all right? And little old me over here is the one who's hearing the crap for it. I'm the one who's catching the flack. That they're like, oh, you know what you're putting out, blah, blah. Someone's always got something to say. Why don't you go, okay, and go send a letter to your local congressman, you know, about the news media. Why don't you send the news media letter? Why don't you go bark at them? Go on their Facebook pages and say something to them. Because I got some news for you, no pun intended, that they're the ones that are really manipulating you. They've manipulated most people to the point. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Like the video I had posted the other day of Trump saying you could go from Qatar to Iran. You just, hop, skip, and a jump, and you're there and over there. And the guy showed how far apart it is, okay? We're talking like, you know, over 100 and something miles, okay? And you got the whole Persian Gulf in between it. And he literally talks something that moronic, and there's still people that support that. I mean, at this point, I'm wondering if everything that's going on, are they just seeing how brainwashed people are? Or, you know, I don't even think he's really that stupid. I think it's a big game that they're playing with you guys. I think they're trying to see, you know, let's just, here, say this. Go out there and say that. And let's see if they actually buy it. You know what I mean? Let's see how many people still stick up for you. Like he had said himself. Trump had said in a video himself, he could pull out a gun and shoot somebody right in the middle of downtown in New York, and he wouldn't lose one voter. Now, he was right in a sense, but he was wrong because he's lost a lot of supporters lately. And you know what? And I'm glad I figured it out a long time ago, because I would feel completely embarrassed to be a lot of you people. You talk about getting scammed. Man, scammed and a half. Because even people like some of his biggest supporters, the Hodge twins, there's just a number of them. You have even as crazy as cat shit crazy as Candace Owens is. Even she says, oh, you guys better withdraw all your kids from the military. Don't go fight for Israel's war. Which I'll you know, as much as I say she's controlled opposition, I'll give her that much. She ain't lying to you there. But people don't realize that this is a problem on a way, way bigger level. Okay, it's mass deception. To the point, there's some people that are so lost in the sauce that are stuck believing the lie. It's like Mark Twain said, it's easier to fool someone than it is to convince them that they've been fooled. And that's what's happening. And see, I'm not the one, okay, that's going to hold anybody's hand. Jesus was perfect and could not help everybody. Okay, not everybody listened to Jesus Christ, and he was he's God, he's perfect, okay? Not even he could convince everybody. And if you think I'm gonna sit here and argue or debate people that are even gonna slightly stick up for a lot of this, you know, completely ridiculous shit going around, if you think I'm gonna be the one to hold your hand, to argue with you, it's definitely not happening this season. I can tell you that right now, because I have a lot of great stuff going on in my life. I have a lot more important stuff I have to be focusing on in my life. This show is very important to me, but the one thing that's not important to me is arguing with people that refuse to admit they've been scammed. Now, I admit I was scammed right along with everybody. I voted for that guy 3 times. You think that was an easy pill to swallow? That, oh man, I got scammed. And I'm the type that, you know, I spot the scam. I've always been that person, okay? I've always been the person that when somebody came around, I said, hey, you know, I would watch out for that guy. I have a bad feeling about that guy. And everybody, oh, no, he's fine. And then I ended up being right. So I'm the one who usually spots the scam. So to have a scam pulled over on me, and it didn't only happen with Trump. I mean, just look at the first, one of the huge first scams of our generation that we got pulled into. You actually got told that everything shifted from Bin Laden, okay, over to Saddam, and had you believing that they had weapons of mass destruction, okay? And everybody believed that. Total horseshit. You guys actually believe that. And didn't know that what they were really going there for. A lot of it was, there's a lot of theories on that too, because I had somebody comment on the page the other day about that. There's a lot of theories behind it, but I know one of the big reasons that's verifiable from people I know who were actually there. A lot of it was the gold. They took a lot of gold from Saddam that was never recovered again. I'm talking dump trucks filled with gold bars that are never to be found again. And that's the story of our government. Money just seems to disappear, just like good old Rumsfeld back in 2001. You know, they could just lose like, you know, trillions of dollars, which is crazy when you think about it, okay? In a sense, they're running our company, okay? This is our company. It's we the people. They're running our company, and they can lose trillions of dollars, can't account for it. The Pentagon still cannot pass an audit, but they want to audit you, okay? You better have your paperwork in order, though, okay? But they can lose money. They cannot be accountable for anything, and they're above the law in some sense. No, and in the greatest sense of the word, above the law. The laws do not apply to these people. And people just don't see that or understand it, or I guess they don't want to understand it, because this is the way I look at it this way. There's these people that'll go around, these liberals, like, oh, we're on stolen land and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, listen, okay? A lot of us aren't on stolen land. My ancestors come from this land. On my half of my side comes from this land. Never came here on no boat. My people are indigenous on half of my family. So my people always been here based on the history we've been told. And I always say we don't know how much of what history we can believe anymore, because history is written by the victors, and we all know that. But people will, like Billie Eyelash, or whatever the heck her name is, she'll say, oh, we're all on stolen land. Nobody's immigrants on stolen land. Well, this is how it works, okay? Back in the day, all right, that's how things worked, okay? There was no sovereignty. There was no diplomacy. People just took shit, okay? They went and conquered and took shit. There was crusades. There was all kinds of stuff going on. So that's what just happened. That's just what it was back then, all right? People were very, very much less civilized than they are supposed to be today, okay? Like they say, we live in a civilized world. Well, I beg to differ on that one. Because if we live in a civilized world where we're supposed to respect each other's sovereignty, we say respect our sovereignty, don't come to our country unless you immigrate here. I'm all for that. I think all countries should have their sovereignty. Well, then why is Trump taking it upon himself to go to Venezuela, to go in Iran? And you guys really think it's for your safety? Are you guys the same people that believed that those jibby jabbies they were giving you was for your safety, to help you guys all get better? You guys really believe that? Are these the same people that are poisoning your food and making you all sick? It's the biggest scam that's ever been perpetrated on humans is happening right here, right now. It's not in the past. It's right here and now. And what that is the fact that they poison your food, okay? They poison your food in order to give you ailments that they make billions of dollars off of treating. So they have a trifecta of scams running on you at all times, okay? They're poisoning you, and then they're not even curing you. So it'd be a little less worse if they're like, oh, hey, we're going to poison you guys with the food and, you know, everything that's going on, but then we're going to cure you of it. And then you just have to keep coming back after we poison you again. No, they're doing you one worse. They're poisoning you to the point you're permanently sick and have to rely on their treatment for however many years in order just to stay alive. I mean, that's crazy. And until people have tried alternative medicine, people have tried alternative routes like fasting, all kinds of things, they've reversed these types of things in their body. Then they start realizing, wow, we really all are being poisoned. I mean, it's crazy. Where do you think, you think about it, they put fluoride in your toothpaste and tell you it's good for your teeth. They sold people on that total scam. When really, sodium fluoride, okay, for one, is the active ingredient in rat poison. Okay? Not only that, but see, what they did was, I'm going to give you a quick little history on that. Fluoride was a runoff from all of their factories and all the garbage they were producing, right? And they would have to pay millions of dollars to dispose of it. So they were so slick, they got the American Dental Association to agree that this shit is good for your teeth. So what did they do? They literally, instead of having to pay to get rid of this poison, okay, they sold it back to your asses. They sold you guys their garbage. Now you talk about a scam, man. And it's like, until people can really agree on the fact of just that, okay, it's really that simple. You just have to ask yourself a few questions. Do you believe that the government and the people that are way up there have your best interest in control or in mind? Just that. Ask that one simple question. And if the answer to that question is yes, there's nothing else to talk about. There's no point. If you answer yes to that question, and there's a lot of morons out there that will, they'll be like, oh yeah, the government has my best interests in mind. They absolutely do. There's people out there that really are that crazy. They really are. And if the answer to that question is yes, there's no point in me even saying another word to you. But if the answer to that question is no, then that's when you start to go down the rabbit hole. Okay, honestly, that's the mindset of what I thought that started me down the rabbit hole, was thinking, you know what? I know these people don't give a rat's ass about me or anybody else. So you know what? I wonder what else they're hiding from us. And then that's when the rabbit hole exploration started. And I started really looking into a lot of stuff. Like I talk a lot about Operation Northwoods. Like, do you guys even realize what that is for the people that don't know what that is? They were literally going to carry out attacks on American citizens by agents that looked, Hispanic, and they were going to say they were Cubans, and they were going to blame it on the Cubans so they can invade Cuba. The Gulf of Tonkin incident, they sank, a ship and said that we sank our own ship and said the North Vietnamese did it so we could enter into Vietnam. So the track record of the government, Tuskegee experiments, it just goes on and on and on and on. Their track record isn't too good. So for the people that say, oh no, they got my best interest in mind, well, history tells a different tale than what you believe or what you see. It just does. I'm sorry. And that's really what it is. Until people can agree that we're all being scammed, the scam is not going to stop. The scam is going to continue. And not only is it going to continue, but it's going to increase in frequency. It's going to increase in severity. Like I told you guys, all of a sudden, now they're reporting Fort Campbell, I believe it is, has drones missing. All of a sudden, drones are missing from a very top secret. You just don't have access to drones, okay? But drones are now missing from Fort Campbell. And then they put that AI video I showed you guys of saying Iran's got all these drones. And people are just dumb enough to believe that anybody could just if anybody could send drones, okay, over to hit us right now. All right? Now, maybe missiles or whatever they're going to do. But if they're just going to send drones okay, over to get us. And we spend as much money as we do on our military, which I think you guys need to go do some research. Because I had somebody comment on the show the other day, well, what about the spy balloon? How did that get over here then into our airspace? Well, first of all, if you believe that that was a Chinese spy balloon, go ahead and smack yourself across the face, okay? Because you're an idiot, all right? That's just more conditioning that they use for you guys. So that way when it happens, you see how that's what they call an anchor event, okay? They put that shit in the back of your head and condition you to where when you hear about these drones and somebody says, oh, well, what about the Chinese spy balloon? That got into our airspace. So you see how somebody anchored quickly to that memory? That's how they do it. That's conditioning 101. That's how they trick you guys. So when they do this shit, nobody will ever question that it was our government that did it. They'll be like, oh, Iran did it. And then just like how with 9/11 helped them go forward with a lot of stuff that they wanted to get done. They wanted to legislate to get more control on you guys, and congratulations, you guys got the Patriot Act. And they even proved with the Patriot Act that they said they were only going to be using it for verified terrorist organizations and people. Well, do you know how many people were brought down by the Patriot Act that were not terrorists at all? They were American citizens, had nothing to do with terror. Some of them were like drug charges and stuff. They use that against you guys all the time. Okay? The 3-letter agencies could be watching me and listening to me through this phone right now. They do it all the time. You guys don't understand that. And some people say, I want to definitely bring up this because I hear it again and again and again. Just because I'm reporting on it doesn't mean I have the answers on how to stop any of this. Not that you even could. Because people say that, well, what can we do to stop this? What can we do? There's nothing you can do, okay? But just have the knowledge of it. Because, for example, if you had the knowledge that there was going to be blackouts coming, okay, I'll give you guys an example, because Bad Bunny climbing electric poles or transformers during the Super Bowl halftime show should had nothing to do with that halftime show at all. But that's why I tried to explain to you guys back then when I decoded that. They're showing you there's going to be blackouts. So, for example, if I warned you guys and said, hey, there's blackouts coming, okay, some people will go and they'll buy food, they'll be prepared in some sort of way. They'll find a way to stock up on the things that they would need. So God forbid it ends up being true, which I'm trying to tell you. I absolutely believe it's going to happen. People laughed at me when I told them a major war was coming 2 months ago. And trust me, you guys haven't seen nothing with this war yet. When I told everybody 2 months ago, they laughed at me. Up until the point they were serving lobster and steak. I told you guys, okay? I told you, because I've got people that are actually in that MOS. For you people that don't know what an MOS is, that's your title in the military, what your job is, okay? I had people in 92 Golf that laughed and said, oh yeah, they're going to war. You have to special order that. Unless it's like a right after Christmas thing or something like that, they're absolutely going to war. So my intel is there. That's why it's not a freaking crystal ball, people. Okay. I have people, I myself am in the intelligence community. I have people in the intelligence community. Okay. I've been in this shit for a very long time. I know what's going on, and I'm trying to help you guys out a little bit by giving you a heads up. Okay. Now, is there stuff I could tell you that I won't? Absolutely. And I'm not going to, because I'm not painting a target on my back or my family's back. So there is stuff I will keep to myself, but there's stuff I believe I can tell you guys that will keep me in the semi-safe zone. Now, a lot of the stuff, yeah, who knows? They could not like me telling you guys a lot of the stuff I'm telling you. But like I'd said, it's the whole reason I started the show. I'm not going to keep silent. I believe silence in a time like this is just giving total leeway to these people to do it. It's signing off on it in a sense. It's sitting back and doing nothing. It's like watching a woman get beat up by a guy in the streets. I'm not going to sit there and watch that happen. That's not happening. Okay. Someone's getting their chin blasted off, because I'm not going to sit back and watch that happen. So watching something evil happen and doing absolutely nothing about it, even if it's just speaking out about it, I mean, are we not just as, complicit to it as they are? We are, because we know and we're not saying anything. But that's why I'm trying to warn everybody. Do not be fooled like they did before. And what's crazy is, I can't believe the same shit works over and over and over again. It continues to work over and over again. They're running the same playbook, the same plays, and people still don't get it. They still believe everything that's going on. But I'm telling you, the first thing to admit, and I know it's hard, like I told you, when I supported Trump, I couldn't stand, these batshit liberals, but realizing that these billionaires, and none of them, like, why would I think that Trump's any different? I'm like these QAnon people. Oh, just trust the plan. These people are billionaires. Have you guys ever even been around a class of those people? Even close to that class of people? It's a special, special club that you do not rise up in, okay? Unless you're in the club. Because if you're not, you will meet with an accident. They don't have to just assassinate somebody, okay? They can have you meet with an accident very, very easily, okay? And there is so much going on right now between, like I said, there's more than just Epstein. There's other Epsteins that are active right now. They're big, huge names in Hollywood and all over that are trafficking children as we speak right now, and are doing things as bad as Epstein. These people are all vampires, and you still trust them. Literal vampires and baby killers and traffickers. And you guys trust these people. And I'm not speaking to all of you. I'm saying the people that do. You actually trust these people, even though they've been proven to be the vampire, sadistic, evil demons that they are. You still trust what these people tell you? And it's everywhere. It's the media, it's the celebrities, it's the billionaires, it's all those people up in that elite class that have any type of real influence. They are all controlled, okay? And they're all after you. And until you realize that and can say, wow, pull the freaking blinders off, swallow that red pill once and for all and say, you know what? This whole world is bullshit. I'm being lied to. And you know what? I want to know the truth. Until you wake up and tell yourself that and truly have your eyes open, you're going to continue to live in this false reality that they've created for all of us.